Welcome back once again to Jack's Tech Corner, and this is another video edition of Windows Server 2012. I'm your host Jack. Let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to talk about today, normally once you install Active Domain Directory Services or Active Directory Services, normally your server will then take on the role of being a domain controller. Now I've also tried in Windows Server 2012 to do a DC promo, and it tells you that you must do it through Server Manager. You can no longer use the command DC promo and promote your server. So at this point, I'm going to show you now how we go in here and actually create or promote this server to be a now domain controller on our network. We're in Server Manager. We want to go down to where it says ADDS, Active Directory Domain Services. Click on Manageability. Once you do that, I want you to click on Go to ADDS. Now that we're in ADDS, you're going to see at the top where it says Configure Required for Active Directory Domain Services at Home Server. That's the name of my server's Home Server. And now we have to promote it to make it an active domain controller. So we're going to go ahead and click on this little More tab here on the right, and we're going to get this little box right here. Now, it says right here, promote this server to a domain controller. That's exactly what we want to do. You can click on that, and we'll just walk through these prompts. The first prompt is telling us, once it fires up here, do we want to add the domain to an existing domain? So if you already have an existing domain, let's say, for instance, we're going to name this domain homeserver2012.org. If we already have that initiated, we can add it to that initial domain. Or we can create a new domain and we can add it into our forest. Now, if you're not familiar with a forest is basically a, for lack of better terminology, a server rack with different domains in it, but they're all kind of joined together and trusted into a forest. We can create a new domain name and put it in that forest. Or we're just going to create a new forest altogether. Let's do that. And we're going to call this forest Home Server 2012.org. And we'll click Next. And we're going to just accept the defaults here, which is the forest function level, and the domain function level is going to be Windows Server 2012. Now, if you're not familiar with this, what this allows us to do is offer better security because you're getting the most up-to-date security with the new domain controller. You can take this functionality back to Server 2008 R2, 2008, or 2003, but I don't really know why you'd want to. Now the domain level, you can see where it says Windows Server 2012. That is because we chose to make it its own forest. If we would have chose to make it a member of a forest or make it a secondary domain controller, we in fact would have had the other selections in there. Let's go ahead and move on. We're going to put our password in here. And for the benefit of security, we will not tell you what that password is. Click on Next. Now, a delegation for the DNS server cannot be created because the authorized parent zone cannot be found. The parent zone is this domain controller. So what it's saying is it can't find itself yet because of the fact it's not a domain controller anyway. So let's just click Next. Now it's going to pick up our NetBIOS name. And what it's doing is actually reading the configuration file of your server. And it says Home Server 2012, and that's fine. Let's click on Next. These are the default locations where it's going to store everything at for us, all of our databases for our data folder, log folders, and sysvol folders. This is the script, everything in the script that is going to happen once we click Next. Once you have all the prerequisites checked and everything is good to go, then what we need to do is just click Install, and this will promote our server to a domain controller. So we go install. It's going to start. So as you can see, this is very much a two-part operation here, with the first being the add the Active Directory domain services, and then promoting our server to a domain controller. That's the second step. We'll just let it run through the installation here. Now I'm sure there will be a reboot. Okay, so you can see it's signing us off now, and it's going to go ahead and reboot. Now, once your server comes back up, then as you can see, it's ready to be logged into as a domain controller. Now, we can tell that right here by seeing where it says home server 2012/ and then my name. Now, we are going to take that out there. We're going to take the name out there, and we're going to log in as the administrator. Then we will sign into our server as a new domain controller. And it looks at that point like we're running okay. We don't have any more red down here. It is a domain controller. And we're going to look at now, we can see that if we go to Tools, and we'll go to Active Directory Users and Computers. We can see now where that opens, and we can now add our groups and our users. We'll be talking about all this here in upcoming lessons. All of our users counts. Matter of fact, on mine, I think I will reset the password here. Just to make sure I can log in as myself. Okay. And now one other thing, just as a bonus, I wanted to take a look at here, show you Active Directory Administration Center. Now this is the way to administrate your Active Directory on your new Windows 2012 domain controller. You can see here where it has a reset password command right here that we can use. That would be for your current account. We have the scope there. We're going to click here. We have some different infrastructures, some program data, some systems, some user stuff in here. Pull this stuff out in a little bit. We have some central access policies, claim types. If you click on properties, this will take you in here, and it kind of looks like some of the old file stuff that we used to use earlier, right? File permissions and whatever for security. So it looks like that. We'll be diving more into this later in future lessons to show you how those actually work. But I just wanted to show you that this is here now. It's called the Active Directory Administrative Center. Just show you that it is there. And you also have the good old GPM, or the Group Policy Management Center. Here's our forest. Here's our domain. Here's our default policy. And you would just right click on that and edit just like we used to do. And we'll be looking at these here down the road to see different policies and how we push things out. I already have some for you there, is that the policies I found earlier can be used to disable the Metro interface. And if you have users like we do on our domain, you're going to be really happy to know that we can disable that and turn it back into look and feel basically of Windows 2008 instead of the Windows 8 interface. I'm sorry, you're going to have the Windows 7 interface instead of having all those tiles all over the place. So that's something that we want to take a look at. We're going to go back and kind of see how that works with the user policies. So we will be playing with this domain controller, the 2012 domain controller, as well as be playing with my my Windows 8 computer, because we'll be talking back and forth in between these two different computers here and controlling one with the other in some upcoming lessons. So once again, thank you very, very much for watching this video tutorial on promoting your Windows 2012, promoting 2012 server to a domain controller. And please check out my website, jackstechcorner.com. Click on the online lessons where you can sign up today to start learning Windows Server 2008 R2. I know we're looking at 2012, but 2008 R2 is going to be mainstream for a long time. And if you're watching these videos, you may want to go back and take that course and get up to date on everything that we're going to be looking at here in the future, because this Server 2012 is also going to be coming down the road. And when it becomes mainstream, I'm sure I'll be able to make a class on that. And then you will be able to become familiar with 2012. So for now, though, I would say take the 2008 R2 and get yourself ready. So until next time, keep those servers running and keep being the administrator that you are. And I'll see you back here very soon on Jack's Tech Corner. Bye for now.